Hey, what is up, everyone? I'm here to give you the final Walking Dead review of the day and the final Walking Dead review of Season 2. Um, good shit. Uh, uh, this was a great season. Um, I thought Season 1 was good, but this made Season 1 look like ass. Because this was amazing. You got the search for Sophia in this season, which was awesome. It turned out to be something I didn't expect, that she ended up turning into a walker. You have the tension with Shane and Rick heat up until Rick finally kills Shane. Um, and what else did we find out? Got to see the relationship between, I don't know. I know they get to see the change of Herschel when that bond was finally opened and the walkers got released, which we got to see that too. We got to see how that changed. We got to see Lando. We got to see a lot of stuff. I really liked this season. The only thing I hated was the relationship between Maggie and Glenn. One minute they were in a relationship, the next they weren't. Hopefully this is settled this season. And I'll tell you about it later on. Um, so let's start with this episode. So it kicks off. Let me actually shut my Xbox off. So it kicks off with the walkers are in the city and they see a helicopter fly by. So then they follow it, and then it leads to them breaking into the fence and going into the woods, and then they hear a gunshot, and that leads to why we saw what we saw in the next season, I guess. Um, and then afterwards, Rick and Carl are walking back, and they see the walkers. So then what happens is they escape. Carl at first to ask what killed Rick. Well, no, who killed Shane? And he doesn't really give an answer at first. I think when he was gonna answer the question, the walkers started coming, and then Dale and Glenn get back, and they talked about how Lando got infected, and yeah, they talk about how Lando got infected, and that they knew Rick killed him. They knew Shane killed him, but they didn't know how that he became a walker. So then they see a bunch of those walkers come by. So the Dale's gonna go find Rick, and it just starts with an awesome, good killing spree. Herschel wanted to defend his farm, so he does so. He just goes all ham. He just starts killing everybody. And Lori finally finds out that Carlo's missing, and she wants to look for him. And then Rick has Carlo, because they couldn't really get back to the barn because they would have been walkers themselves. So then he closes himself into the barn and locks it up, and then he has Carl. They dump gasoline, and he has Carl drop a match to the walkers, and the whole barn starts lighted on fire, and they're pretty much stuck there. And Jim, who was killing walkers, sees them and gets on the RV, but he gets eaten up by walkers, and that was that. Glenn and Maggie's driving the car, and Glenn's just, I think, has a shotgun and just starts killing any walkers that he sees. Same thing with Dale. It was just a awesome scene. And so does and T-Dog is driving the car, and Andrea starts killing walkers. And then eventually Lloyd doesn't want to leave, but Carol tells her that they have to because the place is deserted with walkers. So then she ends up leaving. Her, Beth, Lori, and Patricia leave, but then Patricia gets eaten by a walker in Beth's hand, which was strange. So she had to leave her behind, and then Carol gets attacked. Well, it's cornered by walkers, and T-Dog sees it, so Andrea goes to save her, and she shoots them, and Lori, Beth, and Beth get into T Dog's truck, and they don't have time to go back for Andrea or Kayla, so they have to drive away. And neither do Glenn and Maggie. They had to drive away, and Rick and Carl run into Herschel, so they drive away in his red car. And afterwards, it's like this big depressing scene where the farm is destroyed, and it's like this big sad moment because Herschel's farm was his life. He loved his farm. It was his farm. He liked it, and it was a big sad scene. Like it's invaded by walkers now. And then Carol, I should mention too, Dale picked up Carol, but Andrea got left behind. Um, and then what happens is Rick, Carl, and Herschel go to the highway that they were in the beginning of the season, and says and Carl wants to go back for his mother, but Rick says that it's not that they might not be able to. So then Carl walks away, and Lloyd wants to go back. Lloyd's with Beth and T Dog, and she wants to go back for the highway to get Carl. And T Dog says no, we can't do that. He says because it would just be suicide, and we should just continue to plan what we were going to do. We meet up with them eventually, but Lloyd threatens to just leave, so T-Dog decides to just do it. I forgot to mention that this episode, by the way, is called Beside the Dying Fire. It's Season 2, Episode 13, and it came out on March 18th, 2012. I forgot to mention that. But anyhow, so yeah, T-Dog turns around, and then Maggie and Glenn are driving, and Maggie's like too distraught to drive, so Glenn starts driving. They're gonna drive to the highway, and then because she wanted to go back for her father and stuff, and then Glenn tells Maggie that he loves her. He's been waiting a long time to say it, and he figured now was the perfect time as any, and I guess that made Maggie feel better. And I thought that was good. Hopefully this sticks, that it doesn't turn into another weird relationship. Then everybody meets up back at the highway, and it was this big happy moment. And Herschel at first, before they had gotten back, wanted them to take Carl back to safety, so that way, he'd be safe. But they all came back just in time before he had to make the decision. And it's this big happy moment. And they talk about that they're going to start going forward to Fort Bennett like they were going to. And Andrea got left behind, so they don't go back for her. Andrea's by herself in the woods, running away from the zombies, and she gets kind of tired out at nighttime. So then she uses her gun eventually as a weapon, which was awesome. And then she trips, and right when a walker's about to bite her, we see this guy with a hood who I guess had walkers chained to him. It was weird. We see somebody with a hood, and he kills him with, I think, a sword or something, and it was awesome. Very mysterious. We're gonna hopefully we find out what that's about. And then Rick runs out of gas. I think he was with T-Dog, Carl, and Lori. So then they say that they can't go anywhere because if they get gas now, they'll die. So then Rick decides just to spend the night, and they're stranded like in the middle of the road. And they don't want to do that. And they're questioning how they ended up, how Randall got infected and ended up without getting bit or scratched or anything. And Rick says that he found out in the end of the first season from the doctor, Edward something, that you can just get infected and still catch it. So we're all infected right now. So all of them are infected. And everyone's in shock that they didn't tell us about this. He felt like that he did this, though, for the good of the group. And Glenn's pissed because he said that he told people that there were walkers in the barn, and he didn't say anything. And I did this for the group. And that's why Rick did it. So then he walks away. Lloyd says he did the right thing. And they had asked, too, about Shane, and Lloyd said that the walkers get him, too, and he doesn't say anything. So when he walked over there, he admits to Lloyd that he killed Shane because because he was setting him up and he didn't want to do this, and he knew he was because the whole setup with Lando, he knew he was going to do that, and he had to kill him because he thought he was a threat to he thought I was a threat to me and you and Carl, and I had no choice but to do it. He kept pushing me, and he got the best of me. So then Lori afterwards starts crying, and then Rick kind of says, "Come here," like to comfort her, but Lori's pissed at him, so walks away. And then afterwards, the group's talking, and they're trashing Rick's leadership skills. Talks about how he should have said something. Says that we're all just his henchmen or something. And then they hear something, and I think it ended up being Rick. And they said they can't stay here because what if they get attacked by walkers? So then Rick says, "You guys want to leave? You guys don't believe there's a better place? Then leave." I had to kill my best friend to keep this group safe because he was a threat to this group, like you all thought. He killed Otis, and he was complaining. And then he says, "If you guys want to go out the door, go out now. And then no one leaves, so then they stay. And then he says there's no longer a democracy, and Carl starts crying. So I think Rick's gonna have to. So I really like that. That was the end of the episode and the season. I thought that was awesome. So I think Rick's gonna probably be more vicious now. He's gonna be now a villain kind of, which is kind of cool. Because I thought he even said that he's not a good guy anymore, and I wonder if he's gonna start becoming more of a bad guy now, which is kind of cool. And it's gonna be cool because I guess Rick's maybe gonna start being the leader, and everyone's gonna start listening to him. So I really think that was awesome. And I can't wait to see what happens the next season. This was a kick-ass episode. An awesome way to end the season, and it was just great. So that's pretty much it, guys. And subscribe to this channel, and you can check out all the other Walking Dead reviews. I'll be back next week to start my Season 3 review of The Walking Dead.